The International Building Code, commonly referred to as the IBC, mandates the installation of smoke alarms in hallways and in any rooms separated from a hallway by a ceiling height difference of 24 inches or more. Conversely, the National Electrical Code, referred to as the NEC, doesn't explicitly mandate smoke alarm installation in hallways or rooms featuring elevated ceilings. However, the NEC does stipulate smoke alarm installation in specific locations. Firstly, smoke alarms are required outside each separate sleeping area in the immediate vicinity of the sleeping area doors, as per NEC section 110.21 A and B. Secondly, smoke alarms are necessary in each hallway of a dwelling unit, including hallways used as part of a common path of travel on each level, as specified in NEC section 110.21 C. While the NEC doesn't expressly demand smoke alarms in hallways and rooms with elevated ceilings, the IBC does. Consequently, adhering to the IBC requirement during smoke alarm installations in these locations is generally considered a sound practice. Local building codes can cause the precise requirements for smoke alarm installation in your area to fluctuate. Consulting your local building department and adhering to the applicable code requirements is always prudent. In many areas, the prevailing practice involves installing smoke alarms in both the hallway and the room with the elevated ceiling, aligning with the IBC stipulations. This offers augmented protection against smoke and fire hazards. The NEC undergoes updates on a 3-year cycle, potentially leading to changes in smoke alarm installation requirements over time. Staying informed about the latest code requirements in your area is crucial. Here's a more detailed look at these codes and best practices. The NEC, while not explicitly addressing rooms with elevated ceilings, focuses on ensuring smoke alarms are strategically placed to alert occupants during a fire. This includes placement outside sleeping areas and in hallways to provide early warning. The IBC takes a more comprehensive approach, considering the potential for smoke to accumulate in rooms with higher ceilings, which could delay detection. This is why the IBC mandates smoke alarms in such rooms when they are off hallways. To reiterate, the NEC requirements are primarily found in section 110.21. Subsections A and B detail the placement outside sleeping areas, ensuring that anyone exiting a bedroom is immediately alerted to a fire. Subsection C extends this protection to hallways, recognizing them as critical pathways for escape. The IBC-specific requirements will vary depending on the addition adopted by your local jurisdiction, but generally, they address the unique challenges posed by rooms with significant ceiling height differences. From a practical standpoint, electrical contractors often find themselves navigating both the NEC and the IBC when installing smoke alarms. It's not uncommon to see installations that exceed the minimum requirements of the NEC to comply with the more stringent demands of the IBC. This approach prioritizes safety and reduces the risk of code violations. For new electricians, understanding the interplay between these codes is essential. While the NEC provides a foundational framework for electrical installations, building codes like the IBC often supplement these requirements with specific provisions related to fire safety. Therefore, it is important to consult both the NEC and the local building code to ensure compliance. To emphasize, always check with your local building department to confirm the specific requirements in your area. These departments can provide guidance on the latest code adoptions and any local amendments that may apply. Furthermore, consider attending industry training and continuing education courses to stay up to date on code changes and best practices for smoke alarm installation. Common installation practices often go beyond the minimum code requirements. For instance, some contractors install interconnected smoke alarms, which means that when one alarm is triggered, all alarms in the dwelling activate. This provides a more comprehensive warning system, ensuring that occupants are alerted regardless of their location in the building. Another common practice is to use combination smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, providing protection against two potentially deadly hazards. These devices are particularly useful in homes with fuel-burning appliances, such as furnaces, water heaters, and stoves. When selecting smoke alarms, it's important to consider the type of technology they use. There are two main types of smoke alarms: ionization and photoelectric. Ionization smoke alarms are generally more responsive to flaming fires, while photoelectric smoke alarms are more responsive to smoldering fires. For optimal protection, consider using dual-sensor smoke alarms that incorporate both ionization and photoelectric technology. These alarms can detect a wider range of fire types, providing more comprehensive coverage. In addition to the type of smoke alarm, it's also important to consider its power source. Smoke alarms can be powered by batteries hardwired into the electrical system, or use a combination of both. Battery-powered smoke alarms are easy to install, but they require regular battery replacements to ensure they function properly. Hardwired smoke alarms offer a more reliable power source, but they require professional installation. Combination smoke alarms with both battery and hardwired power offer the best of both worlds, providing a reliable power source with battery backup in case of a power outage. Regardless of the type of smoke alarm you choose, it's important to test it regularly to ensure it's working properly. Most smoke alarms have a test button that you can press to activate the alarm. It's also important to replace smoke alarms every 10 years, as their sensors can become less sensitive over time. Maintaining smoke alarms is crucial for ensuring their effectiveness. Regularly dust or vacuum smoke alarms to remove any debris that may interfere with their operation. Never paint over smoke alarms, as this can also impair their functionality. If a smoke alarm is constantly sounding false alarms, it may need to be relocated or replaced. Remember, smoke alarms are a critical component of fire safety. By understanding the code requirements, following best practices, and maintaining your smoke alarms properly, you can help protect yourself and your family from the dangers of fire. In summary, while the NEC provides the electrical foundation, the IBC often adds specific fire safety requirements that electricians need to be aware of. Always consult both codes, local amendments, and the building department for the most accurate and up-to-date information. Prioritize safety and consider going beyond the minimum requirements to provide the best possible fire protection for occupants. Remember to stay informed about code changes and advancements in smoke alarm technology to ensure you are providing the most effective fire safety solutions. The goal is always to provide early warning and maximize the chances of escape in the event of a fire. This includes proper installation techniques, such as ensuring smoke alarms are mounted on the ceiling or high on a wall, away from corners and obstructions. It also includes educating homeowners about the importance of regular testing and maintenance. In the end, smoke alarm installation is not just about meeting code requirements, it's about saving lives. By taking the time to understand the codes, follow best practices, and educate others, electricians play a vital role in protecting communities from the devastating effects of fire. When working in older buildings, it's particularly important to pay attention to smoke alarm requirements. Older buildings may not have been originally equipped with smoke alarms, or the existing smoke alarms may not meet current code standards. In these cases, it's essential to upgrade the smoke alarm system to ensure compliance with the latest regulations. This may involve installing new smoke alarms, replacing outdated models, or adding interconnected smoke alarms to provide comprehensive coverage. Another important consideration is the placement of smoke alarms in relation to kitchens. Smoke alarms should not be installed directly in or adjacent to kitchens, as cooking fumes can trigger false alarms. Instead, smoke alarms should be placed a safe distance away from the kitchen, while still providing adequate coverage for the surrounding area. The specific distance will vary depending on the local building code, but generally, a distance of at least 10 feet is recommended. When installing smoke alarms in multi-family dwellings, such as apartments or condominiums, it's important to coordinate with the building owner or property manager to ensure that all units are equipped with working smoke alarms. In many jurisdictions, building owners are responsible for maintaining smoke alarms in common areas and individual units. However, tenants are typically responsible for testing and maintaining the smoke alarms in their own units. It's also important to educate tenants about the importance of smoke alarm safety and provide them with instructions on how to test and maintain their smoke alarms. This can help prevent false alarms and ensure that smoke alarms are functioning properly in the event of a fire. In addition to smoke alarms, it's also important to consider the installation of carbon monoxide detectors in homes and buildings. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be deadly. It is produced by fuel-burning appliances, such as furnaces, water heaters, and stoves. Carbon monoxide detectors can alert occupants to the presence of carbon monoxide, allowing them to evacuate the building and seek medical attention. Carbon monoxide detectors should be installed on every level of a home or building, including near sleeping areas. They should be tested regularly and replaced every 5 to 7 years. By installing both smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors, you can provide comprehensive protection against fire and carbon monoxide poisoning. This can help save lives and prevent serious injuries. In conclusion, smoke alarm installation is a critical aspect of electrical work, and it's essential to stay up to date on the latest code requirements and best practices. By understanding the NEC, the EIG, and local building codes, you can ensure that smoke alarms are installed properly and provide effective protection against fire. Remember to prioritize safety, educate others, and stay informed about advancements in smoke alarm technology. This will help you provide the best possible fire safety solutions for your clients and communities. The overall goal is to create a safer environment for everyone by ensuring that homes and buildings are equipped with working smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. This requires a commitment to excellence, a dedication to safety, and a willingness to stay informed about the latest developments in fire safety technology and regulations. Always remember that smoke alarm installation is not just about meeting code requirements, it's about protecting lives and preventing tragedies. By taking your responsibilities seriously and providing the best possible service, you can make a positive impact on the safety and well-being of your community.